Brad Treliving. I can't say tree living. Brad Treliving, the 9-season GM of Calgary with 2 wins, 2 round wins, is the GM of the Leafs. Let me give you a different perspective on this. The argument goes against him is that the organization in Calgary did not let him operate the way he wanted to. I would be very, very surprised if he had free reign in Toronto, because Shanahan gets rid of Dubas because Dubas, wants more power, says he doesn't want to be there, is not sure. Shanahan immediately brings in Brad Treliving, who is willing to stick around in an organization that doesn't give him the freedom to do his job. Why? Because he comes to Toronto, Shanahan pulls the strings behind the scenes. If Treliving fails, Treliving's the fall guy and Shanahan keeps his job. And what are the chances he's going to fail? They're very, very high. There's too many UFAs, too many big contracts in the next 4 years. We don't have a big enough stud D. We may have a saving grace in Joseph Woll. And there may be a chance if this team toughens up, can do something. But I think what's going to happen is Shanahan is going to tell Treliving, to keep the core four, to sign Matthews, because for Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment, the Stars sell tickets. And if the media goes and pushes the narrative that it's a new team or it's a new era and pushes Austin Matthews basically and Marner because the fans love them, and they're great regular season players, nothing against those guys, they're just not playoff performers, they're not playoff tough, they're not playoff hard. But people pay to go and sit in that arena and watch this team, which is what the ownership wants. And I think they're going to sign those stars and they're going to get Treliving to pack around the team just like Dubas did with Matthew Nyes and whatever other free agents they can afford. I'd be surprised. I think we might make the playoffs, and I say so because of Joseph Woll, not because of this team. I mean, Giordano, who was amazing last year, got us through some sticky situations, is another year older, looks very tired in the playoffs, is another year older, and yeah, he's not going to be able to do the same things that he did last year. You know, you're going to stick with Justin Hall. You're going to stick with Sheldon Keefe. You're going to stick with this weak core four. You're going to stick with a number one defenseman who is not a good defender, scored 3 goals last year, 2 goals, 3 goals, 4 goals the year before, never scores very much, and is supposed to be an offensive defenseman at 7.5, you know. And what are you going to do? You're going to trade Nylander away? Nylander, I would take Nylander over Marner, Matthews, Tavares, Riley. I think he's the best of them. I don't think he's a great playoff performer, but I think he's okay. He's okay. He's okay in the playoffs. And we'll see how much money he wants, but I don't think we'll be able to afford him. But this is, as Florida has proven, this is not about 60-goal seasons. Who cares? Rick Vaive scored 50 goals. Gary Lehman scored 50 goals. Who else did it? Vinny Danfou, maybe? Who cares? Does anyone go, oh yeah, you remember the 80s when Vaive scored 50 goals? Wasn't that great? Nobody. The playoff runs in 92, 93, 94 were great. 93, 94 were great. That's what matters. And I don't care about Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner and Tavares if they can't perform in the playoffs. And we know 6 years running that they cannot. They didn't step up and beat Florida, who were the 8th seed. So being the 8th seed is okay. As long as your team comes together, the goalie gets hot, and you're tough enough, as Dallas, Vegas, Carolina have shown. Fair dues, right? Can't argue against it. Edmonton's out with their high flyers. I would honestly trade them for playoff performers and grinders, character guys, guys who bring a dressing room together, who can put up 30 goals. It's enough in the regular season. 30 goals, fine, thank you very much. So I think Treliving is putting himself in a very difficult position, and I think he's the wrong man for the job because he's foolish enough to put himself in that position. I think he's going to walk in there and find that the organization, Shanahan, have an agenda to take your money, put it in their pockets, and that is the bottom line. And I would say for the regular season, as long as you have a whole regular season with the state of the arena full, all the seats sold, all the season tickets sold out, you're selling hot dogs. A few extra games in the playoffs are helpful, but still it's happy days, isn't it? You still got a full arena for 41 games, whatever it is. I see Treliving 2 or 3 years from now being fired. Being fired by Shanahan. Shanahan's going to blame him for the mess that's about to come. Unless Treliving has the freedom to make some smart moves to build a solid team. Because it's not a solid team. It's a losing team. Montreal, Tampa, Florida, almost Tampa this year. Columbus, right? On and on. So the fact that Treliving took this job told me that he's not the right man. The fact that Shanahan got rid of Dubas in a sort of knee-jerk reaction. He said, oh, here's a 5-year contract. No, take it away. We're going to fire you. Wait a minute. If he's the right guy, it's a closed-door conversation. And clearly that communication broke down. And that's Shanahan's job, is to have that good communication with the GM. He doesn't realize that the GM is feeling exhausted or fed up with the team and the city, in whatever peregrinations those are. Then it's Shanahan's not doing his job. So there's too many weak characters on this team. We know that. Sheldon Keefe's team talks. Guys, okay, go out there and have fun. Do your best. Man, it's game 3 against Florida in the round 2. What is go out there and have fun got to do with it? It's kick some ass, Weak. Marner, oh, we lost, we'll come back next year. JT, oh, we're going to learn our lessons and come back next year. And Dubas, oh, run the core 4 back. Oh, they're really nice guys. Here, have a no-move clause. It's a joke. And Shanahan must be backing that. And the Maple Leaf organization must be backing what Dubas did. There's no way they're sitting there saying nothing to it. No way. Treliving is the new Dubas. Not going to work. Sorry.